This podcast is brought to you by Primary Arms. Primary Arms seeks to provide the best shopping experience for everything firearms. With over 13,000 products from over 400 top brands, Primary Arms carries a complete selection of rifles, handguns, firearms parts, shooting gear, apparel, and more. Every order comes with a commitment to superior service, backed by fast shipping and an expert support team. Primary Arms, serving freedom since 2008. Find out more at frn.deals/PA. Welcome to the AR-15 podcast. This show is for you if you just bought your first rifle or if you've been building them for years. There is something we can all do to take our black rifles to the next level. My name is Nick Dooley, and I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Garth Hover.
From a basement that's not remotely close to anyone. For the first time ever, Sunday Fun Day is live for the AR-15 podcast.
Yep, that's right. We missed our normal night recording on Thursday, so we decided to do a little Sunday Fun Day show for you guys, and not a real topic show. As we get into it, we have a couple things that we'll talk about, but more than that, we'll be coming through. Also, want to let you guys know to make sure to listen to this week's podcast as it comes out live, and also tell your friends and loved ones to maybe check it out when it drops next Monday, so you can get into the AR-15 official holiday gift guide.
Absolutely. We've got some fantastic ideas, a few websites you guys can check out. Yeah, who doesn't want, guns, ammo, and all around
paraphernalia?
Yes, that's paraphernalia. Yes. So it's going to be a good time. We're going to, you can never go wrong with firearms as a gift over the holidays. So,
well, we'll get into that more on Thursday.
Absolutely, we will.
But as we go through with the rest, Garth, what have you been up to this week?
Man, again, still dragging away at harvest. It's been long. We started on the 10th of October, and we're coming up on the 10th of November now. The end is not in sight. So I haven't done the most shooting I got to do. I did a little flex yesterday and pulled out my pocket pistol, and we're showing people that it is possible to take a pocket pistol 40 yards. So that's the most shooting I've done in the last 2 weeks. That's sad to say because I fired 6 rounds. That's it. So not a lot of shooting, not a lot of gun. I mean, I did pick up a gun of the month for October, so that's fun. I traded a Sig X Legion Compact for a CZ Ultralight over-under. And I haven't even fired that yet because I'm too busy harvesting to go out and shoot pheasants. It is pheasant season out here in beautiful South Dakota. We've had some fantastic weather. It's 60 degrees here today. It's t-shirt weather for fat guys, and I are fat, so I enjoy the weather immensely. We're looking at some great weather for the next 15 days. So hopefully if we wrap harvest up, then I go out and knock some birds down. That's what I'm really excited about.
Yeah, I've also been not out hunting because, well, one, I have to be somewhere like consistently in the same place long enough to get out and do those things.
Yeah, that's the trouble right now. I'm looking at my schedule for the next 5 months, and I think I have 3 weekends free. So that's impressive for a guy who really isn't trying to be all that busy.
Yeah, and I know that for me, I'm just happy because I'm going to have more than 4 days in a row in the same bed.
Well, that's nice. That's good.
Like, I'm still busy, but I get to stay in one place.
Yeah,
and that is happy for me.
Well, that's nice. That works perfect. So I suppose I know you'd mentioned there's a couple guys asking about the Jackal, and since I haven't been able to do anything hunting related, it also means I haven't been able to shoot a lot of guns. The Jackal is back in my safe, staring at me, asking to go shoot. I have not been able to take it back out. I know you did the things with it, and it is functional, but I have, I put the scope back on it and need to take it back out to the range and make sure my zero is still perfect. It should be because, reasons. But I'm thinking this year I might get a deer tag. I haven't got a deer tag in 15 years. And what better way to bring in a new hunt with a new gun than taking a deer with an AR? I know we had this conversation a couple weeks ago about I'm a more traditional guy. You like the newer AR style firearms. And so, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to get a landowner tag, get a double doe tag, and I'm going to take one with a lever gun. I'm going to take one with an AR.
Yep. And I pretty much exclusively shoot AR pattern rifles anymore. I do have one bolt gun that I still shoot. I mean, I've got other ones in the safe that I will use as well, but I can honestly say I do not shoot other guns as well or as accurate as an AR, and that is probably because of the number of reps I have.
No, that's completely understandable.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of been the AR guy for a while in our area, I think.
Before we were ever the show, you were still the AR guy, 100%.
Yep. So actually, with talking about that, I had my 308 that or one of my 308 ARs that's been just a major problem child.
Mm-hmm.
A couple weeks ago I got it all fixed and running properly, and I was like, all right. And then it just would randomly not run for whatever reason. And I was like, all right, we're gonna go one more round, and then you're getting a whole new barrel, and you might not be a 308 anymore. And when we went through there, yep, what an odd time, fellas. Yeah, we like I said, Sunday Fun Day, we decided to throw a show together for you guys. And when I went through the whole deal today, I took it out and had everything running, and she's running like a top again. But confirmed my 0 with my 308 and the round I'm going to be using for hunting this year. And I sometimes forget what going to a public rifle range the week before hunting season.
Stupid insane, because you see all walks of life out there.
Oh yeah. Like I pull up and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna put this target up and shoot a couple rounds and confirm 0. You know, adjust a little bit because speeds are different and I'm picky. It's all right, we're doing this. And then like I looked over and there was a guy who literally had camo duct tape on his hunting rifle, and he had on like the sunshade and bell housing of his scope had decided to duct tape that down tight against his scope, so he's putting pressure down on his scope. And I'm,
oh no,
and he's doing this. He's like, yeah, it's just not accurate. I'm like, then he's talking to his buddy and he's trying to figure it out. And I sometimes I try to not be that guy.
Were you that guy though?
Well, I might have an idea of why you're having some issues. You can't. You're not supposed to put pressure on your scope like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he looked at me and he goes, well, what makes you think you know anything? My buddy told me to do this. Okay.
Fair enough. You have fun shooting that.
I'm going to shoot my 10 rounds and then I'm going to leave.
Yeah. To be fair, though, you were that guy a couple weeks ago with my Jackal, though. So.
Oh, yeah. I was that guy, but that was also different because I was like, I just didn't have an optic on it.
Oh, yeah, that's my fault.
And I was mag dumping into trash to make sure it ran.
Yeah.
This was, why isn't this accurate? Well, because you put torque on this. What makes you think you know anything? All right, we're going to move on now.
Yeah, that's not worth the breath.
Yep. And I was just reading the comments here. Oh, and thank you so much, Seth. Seth ordered some guys that are Gazelle Super Duty lowers from Primary Arms during their Halloween sale. And that is awesome news. So thank you so much for that.
Perfect.
Yep. I did order some more parts this week as well.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lower that I'm going to build out and swap one of the ones I have already and kind of have a dedicated optics testing rifle.
There you go. That's a good idea.
And just all right, I know what this rifle does. It's always been accurate.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna move one of my lowers onto that one just to have a good solid setup, and then build another interesting project for later on that is a mystery tool that will help us later.
Here, take this. It'll help you later in life.
Exactly. So as it's dangerous to go alone, you should take this. But when we get through that stuff, it'll be, just a little bit of moving around. So I'm going to build out this lower, and when I go through and pick my parts, I always have a handful of things that I look at and go through, because I am not the most like trigger snob guy.
Mm-hmm.
I know that we have friends that are like giant trigger snobs.
Yes.
I am not one of them. Also, I get some hate because there are a couple major trigger brands that I do not care for, or rather, I do not find the economical value in.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll shoot one of mine. And they're like, well, yeah, if I could get a trigger like that, then I wouldn't buy these. And I'm like, yeah, here's the thing. I made that.
Actually, one of the triggers I'm really interested in, we shot it earlier this year at one of our competitions. A guy had one of those roll pin triggers.
Yep.
And I really actually dug it. It was pretty solid. It had a nice pull on it. It was, thick enough that I thought the placement of your finger on the trigger itself, you weren't really stretching like, so, some of those thin flat triggers, you got to press just right. I mean, that thing is, it was so air light, really. I mean, it was.
Yep. And so there was a company that did those years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, like 5 years ago, they had them on the original AR-15 podcast.
Really?
Yeah, and it was a Wisconsin trigger that they would roll over, and they had that kind of rolling trigger design.
Mm-hmm.
And they just never took off.
And
it was one of those like, oh no, it's because the guy was talking about it, and they were talking, or they're like, oh, well, it's like a 2-stage trigger. He's like, no, 2-stage triggers are dumb. And personally, I agree with him because 2-stage triggers are dumb. Why do I want an extra wall to be like, okay, I'm pulling the trigger. Oh, there's a wall.
Yep.
And then it's okay. Now I'm going to fire. No, if I wanted that, I'd shoot a double single. Like, I love Berettas, and they have a double action, single action trigger. So you get 2 trigger pulls for the price of 1.
Yeah.
But no, I'm a 1-stage trigger guy. So, with that, but one thing that is going to go on the new rifle, and that's a VZ grip. Because the unique feature of VZ grips is they're machined from a solid block of G10. And G10 is great because it's durable and doesn't get slippery when covered with mud, blood, or sweat. To the 17-degree grip angle and wide variety of textures from mild to extreme, along with color options and shorty versions available. 1911 grips with extreme customizability, standard slim palm swells, thumb notches, safety kits, bottom profiles, and more. More than 25 textures and 27 colors are available. This coupon code is good for 15% off all handgun and rifle grips, and that code is AR-15 podcast.
Nice.
Yes, and this grip will in fact be on my my new lower that I'm building out.
Solid. I still have yet to put one more VZ grip on a gun. I can't decide which one I want to put it on. If I want to go with the PCC, or if I want to, I put one on the Jackal. That one has a VZ grip now. I'm super excited about that. But I'm thinking the next one might go on the SIG M400.
That would be a solid plan. I truly do love VZ grips, and obviously mine will go on there. The other handy thing is I do not have to worry about Garth stealing my rifle with this grip on it.
No, I despise that grip. So
And yes, Brandon, we do in fact do classes in Pier.
actually, we have a few coming up in the near future that we're trying to set up right now. Not only pistol classes.
Yep, there will be some carbine classes as well. So for that stuff, just check out Dooley Defense, and we'll have that there. So, now with that, the one thing that I'm kind of excited about as we go through, and it is coming up on deer season.
Yeah.
Half the state opens in 2 weeks,
Yep.
and half the state opens next weekend. And I care about the one next weekend because I hunt on the right side. And
all right, whatever. We're all creek breed, man.
Yep. But anyways, well, I guess if you looked at the map, it would be the left side.
Depending on if you're looking from the north or south.
Yeah. But I hunt on the west side.
Yeah.
And
west side?
The last time I harvested a deer, I took it with an AR.
Mm-hmm.
One of my other 308s, and I have a new one to build out. But one of the things that gets very interesting to get going through there is the apps for doing your ballistic calculators. So everyone's favorite app, and the one that like for the long time was the gold standard, is if you have it on your phone or tablet or whatever, you can still use it.
Yeah.
But everyone else, like if you're getting into shooting, you can no longer download it.
Yeah, that's the bummer about all these shooting and gun apps. They're non-existent anymore because, well.
Oh no, this isn't for those reasons.
Oh really? That's my reasons.
No, this is because it was found on a Russian soldier's phone.
Oh, that one. Yep.
So it is Straylock Pro. Now I have Straylock, and it is not my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that is great about it is it will pull up and do like what reticle you have.
Yeah.
So when you put in your bullet speed, it will show your reticle and where the drop is at different ranges.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So like for you with your, I'm not going to dial, I'm going to just use my BDCs.
Correct.
You could go through and be like, okay, this is my actual speed.
Mm-hmm. Type
in what bullet you're using, and then it would show where everything actually lines up.
That would be nice because that's the Swamp Fox Saber is the only one that I have issues with. That's also on the Jackal, and it's dialed in at 200, and I can shoot from the hip and hit 3, but I have no idea where my BDCs are at right now.
Okay, well, look at this. This is going to be amazing radio as I pull this up.
If we only had these small computers in our hands, we don't know what we do.
Oh man. So as I pull up here and go, all right, I'm just going to type in Swamp Fox. Oh, and here we go. We have all of our Swamp Fox.
Look at that. Holy cats. They got all of them.
Yes, they do. So 5 to 25. Oh, wait. They don't have the Saber. They only have the Tri-Hawk.
Well, too bad I just sold that.
Yep. And that is, I think, mainly because it's, they had to stop updating.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yep. But for me, they have all of mine. And I will be flipping through to add that along with like your bullet rise on the blade, and it shows where everything is at, which was nice. And it is I do not like the user atmosphere of it, but it has so much data that you can't discount it.
Yeah.
There's another one like iPhone users can use iSnipe, which is a $10 app that I have used to great luck. I know Hornady has one that's free, and if you run it like 8 times and
Mhm.
average them all together, you'll get the right speeds and drops. But as we go through and you know, yeah, and Garth has a great stash, and I do not. Like mine's there, but it looks more like a chocolate milk mustache compared to.
Well, it's No Shave November, so I obviously had to get rid of the beard, and the one thing I forgot is I'm fat, so I have a double chin, so this beard's coming back. But why not? Do the Mario. It's a Mario.
Yeah, and my mustache just kind of stays like this.
But you have to. You have regulations.
Precisely. But as we go through there, I just had my little bit about like some of the problems with running new distance calculations if you're too cheap to build dope and want to do it the fast way with an app.
Yeah, that's fair.
Which is a lot of fun, and we will delve way more into that later when we're not on air, because I will just go silent as I start typing things into my phone and go, okay, yep, all right, here you go. This is what you need.
And we promise you, we're not the We Like Hunting podcast.
Yeah, you can tune into Let's Go Hunt, and they will talk all about hunting.
Yes,
but like we do enjoy it. But we, I will probably have more stories in the next couple weeks about taking my deer or not with an AR. I did do one kind of fun thing this week though. I got to blow a couple people's mind, or well, I got to ruin people's minds or days with something we did that I was doing yesterday. I was helping administer a best warrior competition, and the powers that be decided that I could make up scenarios.
Did anyone get the finish in the part-time, I should say?
No.
I'll let you explain it, because Nick was more than cruel, and skills you have to know anyway.
So this competition is supposed to be like the best. They call it a best warrior, but they have lower enlisted NCOs come through from all over the state and out throughout the guard, and it's, hey, we're gonna have this competition on knowledge base, and they send everyone through, and all these guys, guys and gals that are in the competition, they start like noon the day before, and they have to do like essays and a whole bunch of questions and tests, and then they're like, okay, they keep them up till like midnight, and then wake them up at 3:00 in the morning. Okay, time to go do night land nav, and then they turn them loose, so they're wandering all over the side of a mountain, and like, find your points, dude. It's in the dark. Oh, no white light, and they're wandering about, and then they come out and it's, okay, hey, we're gonna do a shooting exercise, and we have this all set up. Okay, here's your rifles. We're gonna have you zero them. Some of them were already a little tired and couldn't remember how to drop a mag out of an M16. And this is one of the hardest things that my section does all year, because we are instructors and we cannot teach. We have to just, hey, is this how I do it? I don't know. Is it? It sounds really mean to say that, but
well, in a situation,
it's a individual competition.
Yeah,
and it's based on knowledge. So, you tell me, bud. And then they look at me and give me dirty looks, like, all right, whatever, this asshole. And we designed the rifle course of fire. They had 3 targets they had never seen before, because they are ones that we use in our competition shooting world for the military at 3 distances they had never shot at before.
Nice.
And it's, hey, any trick you may have had before doesn't matter at all. And these now have scoring point rings instead of just hit the target.
Yeah.
And they went, oh. And the scores showed that. The course of fire may have been slightly difficult. And I mean, it had more up downs than a Catholic wedding. But as everything went through, everyone enjoyed it, and they're like, that was like really weird and different.
Yeah.
Like, well, that's awesome, man. Come back to us later. So we sent them out to go take a PT test. You kids have fun now. And then when they came back, they had a task, and their task was, okay, you have to assemble one M249 machine gun and one M2 50 caliber machine gun. I took them apart. And then I put them all on the table, and then I said, you know what? This is just too easy. So I grabbed another M4 and I ripped it down to, well, not as far as I could take it.
Yeah.
But far enough.
There were extra parts.
And then I took pistols and took them apart and threw them in there too. And then I looked at the kids and said, okay, now this is your task. And they looked down and they go, there's an M4 in there. Sure is. And we had one kid who sat down and goes, okay. He put together the M4. Then he put together the M9. And then he started to look at the saw, which is the 249, and went, oh. And then the time was up.
Yeah.
And
congratulations on putting the two guns together that weren't the requirement.
Yeah, and congratulations, you have been awarded 0 points.
And may God have mercy on your soul.
What? I'm like, yeah, man, you got to listen to instructions. Like, don't.
Yeah.
But no, there was one person who did get them all put together in the par time, and that included the 2 extra weapons.
Was that you?
Yes. Yes, it was, because somebody goes, I don't think that's possible. And we were a minute into another competitor, and I was like, okay. And I explained what I was doing as I put everything together and slid it all in, and I got done, and I did it in 6 minutes. And they're like, how'd you do that? And I was like, well, I've done this before. But that was what I was off doing instead of being on the podcast on Thursday. And apparently being mean and evil is like, I don't think it was mean and evil, but everyone goes, oh man, like you.
Well, what's the saying? The only easy day was yesterday.
Yeah, it's something like that. And I mean, when they're running on 3 hours of sleep and have been up for 18 hours, hey bud, how you doing? Yeah, this is going to be fun for me.
All you're doing is creating situations, because I'm not saying that, the South Dakota Guard is going to be in a situation such as that, but the way the world's moving, man, you don't know.
There's a lot of things happening in the world. And, that is, I should mention one other thing. Garth, you want to reach over and grab that box?
You bet.
And again, guys, totally not a sponsor, but I did, with my own money, purchase a Sentinel 2 for my carry gun. And I did sight this in today. And the first time I got to shoot it was at Rocky Mountain Range Day. And I absolutely love it. One, it just looks better.
It really does. It looks fantastic on his 365.
Yeah, and as you
for the just viewers out there,
I'm showing you how it appears.
Yeah.
But it is, and of course I did opt for the shield, or well, the iron sights shield.
Yeah.
not for, well, I do have a shield, but it doesn't have an optics cut.
That's okay. I've never been a fan of the shields.
See, I liked my shield. I liked it a lot. I carried it for a lot of years. Now my wife carries it.
Yeah, I carried an LC9, so I don't have much to say.
Yeah, I have one of those too. But
yeah, I digress.
Yeah. Anyway, when we get into strange carry pistols,
yeah.
I have a safe.
Do I have a safe?
But when we go through the rest of this, what's that? Oh, hey, it's a hard cross to bear, but I'll take it. I was shooting another Swamp Fox today. It's really become my go-to brand.
What optics did you buy? Just out of curiosity.
Yep. As that's coming through, and I just had to look at a message that came in because the one other thing that I got to do was I got to do air quotes
Yes.
when I went to the range today. I should give a slight report. I was given some magazines by a company, and their exact words were, just beat the shit out of them and tell us what went wrong.
Yeah.
And we might try and have these guys on, but I can say that for the Glock, or for the Glock pattern magazines running in a PCC, they outperformed the Magpul magazines handily.
You know what I want to do? I want to spend some money so we can test out these magazines. Patton had a deal on 60-Second Gun News a while back about a binary trigger that goes in a Glock.
So there's a binary trigger that goes in a Glock that is made by Franklin Armory, who does a bunch of amazing innovation.
Mm-hmm.
You should look at the JSD Supply one because it's half the price and you don't have to replace the slide.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. I will give that a look-see because something about having a binary Glock would be just fantastic.
Yeah, where it's just,
spray and pray.
Allegedly.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I have. Here we go. Yep, Tomahawk LPVO Sentinel. Yep, I have all of those except for the Sentinel 1. I just had the Sentinel 2 now.
I have one of those. Yeah, because I have the arrowheads.
Oh, yep.
So I have, I think, 5 blades now and 2 Raiders. I love their Prism optics, man. I again, we're not sponsored by Swamp Fox, but man, do they make some fantastic optics.
Yeah, really, I need to work on them to be like, hey guys,
let's do things.
Hook a brother up.
Yeah,
but as I has none.
I has none.
Yep, that's okay, Thomas. But you also have a smart car, so I don't know what that says. But no, so anyways, back to what I got to do.
Yes,
got had when I was running these mags out to see how they worked. Had a customer who had asked me to install a binary trigger a while ago, and then he did one of the things that every gunsmith loves to have happen. Oh, this is kind of screwing up. I'm going to give it to my buddy.
Sorry, Louie.
Yeah. And like, it's one of those where I'm not sure if it was screwed up before or after or how.
Things transpired.
Yeah, I know that when I received it, there were pieces missing that were kind of important to the function, and had to make a couple pins and things of that nature. But now everything's running, so I got to go out and run it like a top.
Nice.
And it was sighted in and everything like that. So I was like, all right, over on the pistol side, and I did my little dialing in of my my new red dot on my carry gun. I'm like, okay, yep, here we go. We are ready to go. And step back to the 25, and pull up, and I'm, pop. All right, yep, about 5 rounds, everything's working good. Flip her over to binary, let her rip. Everything runs great. Do it again. Everything runs great. Put in a Magpul PMag and Glock pattern.
Yeah.
Does not run great. Take it out. Put a different Glock pattern mag in. Everything runs great. And I went, aha, I found the problem.
It's interesting what a magazine will do.
Oh, very much so. Magazines are one of the first things that people go, oh, I'm having this problem. How many mags have you tried?
Yeah.
And they go, what do you mean? How many mags have you tried? Does it do it with every mag, or does it only do it with one?
Yeah.
And I have you know, PMags are the gold standard
Yeah.
that everything's based on. I have a bunch of Lancer mags, and they have been really solid. Nick at the We Like Shooting Show has talked about or mentioned something that when you take the Lancer mags and hit them on the ground,
Yeah.
like hit the bottom side of them,
Yep.
they'll shoot around out the top.
Oh, really?
And it's like, oh, no, they won't. You know, like everybody's like, oh, no. And it's, oh, no, they will. Like it's just, and how everything goes through it, you can totally whap and watch one come out the top.
Yeah, I used to be the proponent of I'll buy nice guns and then I'll save money and I'll buy cheap magazines. And I used to buy Pro Mags like they were candy because they were cheap, and then I paid dearly for it. So my biggest thing is if you're shooting a pistol with a branded, magazine, spend the extra money because in the long run, you don't want a failure when it counts the most.
Yeah, and I think I have 3 Glock branded magazines, and everything else is a different one.
Yeah,
but that's because they are the new, like, everybody makes one.
Yeah,
and I can say that these KCI mags that I was running were actually holding up really well, and their new windowed mags for the AR may be my my new jam. Like if I can't run PMags, I might switch to run those.
And if you guys are curious about where to find any of these, again, not sponsored, but go out and check out the Mag Shack because they have some fantastic deals out there. They just find the lowest prices out there at quality. So check those guys out because that's where I order the majority of my magazines from. As we fiercely read.
Yeah, I was reading the comment that was coming up here. And the PMag Glock mags are not the hottest thing.
No.
Like they might not be what you want to run. I have them, I've run them, but there's some better options out there.
There are.
And that's there's also some way worse options out there.
I run them all.
Yep. So have I have I would be afraid to know the dollar amount of magazines I keep in this house.
I'm not even going to guess because every time I come down here, there's a new box of magazines. So
it's not that bad anymore.
It's pretty damn close.
I said anymore. Just because people buy mags in generational wealth platforms does not.
What you inherit from your dad? Magazines, like car magazines? No.
Yeah, I mean, I have enough magazines now for my grandkids.
Their grandkids.
Hey, but part of that is magazines are a wear item.
The magazines eventually, even the good branded ones, do fail, and so it's just not. I mean, again, if you're going to buy quality firearms, buy quality magazines and buy lots of them.
Well, and even having because the main thing that fails on a magazine is the spring.
Yep.
And Wolf springs, you can a lot of times buy mag springs there.
Yep.
And rebuild, especially if you have expensive mags, because a $5 spring for a Sig mag is better than a $50 Sig mag.
Yes. I mean, all the components, unless you're beating up your magazine lips or something.
Yeah, unless it's the mag housing, like we were just talking about with the aforementioned shadow systems with the PMag.
Yeah.
The Glock PMags, which run 100% polymer. I know that I have looked at my running a PMag out of my Montgo 9, and you can see that bolt shave part of the mag off if it's brand new. Because there's a guy who's like, oh, I want to try it. Here, I'll run my ammo. And he shoved a brand new mag in it.
Mm.
It just ka-chink, cut a chunk off. And I was like, well, it trimmed to fit.
What's your thoughts on like 50 and 100 round mags for ARs? And I mean, worth buying them?
What's that? Oh, the 50 and 100?
Yeah.
So I know that Desert Tech just came out with the quad track, or like it's not a quadra track like a tractor or something like that, but they have a 52 round magazine now.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never shot it. Back in the day, the Surefire made 100 round mags.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was another company, Quattro Mags, that's what it is. But I believe you have to run their proprietary lower.
Oh yeah, the thing is huge.
Yeah, it's a quad stack magazine.
Well, I know they make those that have the single feeding, like the actual AR, but then they have the
like the drums.
Well, no, well, there's 60 round magazines, like actual AR mags, and then yes, the drums that's what I was more referring to, is the 50 round drums or the 100 round drums.
So here's the Schmeisers. Here's all the
that was what I was talking about right there.
Yep. So the 60 round Surefire mags, and then I've never used the 60 round the Schmeiser mags.
Mm-hmm.
I shoot quite a little competition, as you know.
Yeah, I've seen it.
I do not think that the 100 round stacks are as reliable as they need to be.
Yeah.
Also, I have never found a situation that I couldn't reload somewhere in there and not lose time if I was doing it on the move.
Well, that's what I was just saying. A lot of guys in our competition run like 50 round drum mags for PCC, and I get that because you don't have to reload, but being efficient at reloading is a good skill to have.
Well, and there is something to be said about, okay, well, I have this, and if I get like a D60 from Magpul, the Magpul 60 round drum.
Yeah.
Now, those are solid, ultra reliable. And, Wrangler Star just had a short on YouTube about them because he's like, oh, if you're around the farm or the ranch, you just run these 20 round mags. You should have 30 rounders in your battle setup. And if you have this, 60 round mag, you turn it into like a scuzzy light machine gun. And I'm like, you kind of have, like, he's not wrong. Allegedly, if you believe what has been put out, in Las Vegas, there was a bunch of the 100 round Surefire mags and like the old beta drums and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I know people who had the OG like beta drum mags.
Yeah.
And they never worked.
Yeah.
It was they were a bigger jam factory than a cheap 1911.
Yeah, it was always the timing got off on them, and and then all of a sudden you hear rattling in it. It was just drove me nuts.
Oh, you had one too?
Yeah, I did. It's like, oh, cool. Oh no.
Yeah, I'm the guy who's been like, I was gonna have these 30s. Like 30s work for me because, well, they do. And
that's my new saying. Why do you need a 30 round magazine? Because I don't need a 100 round.
Well, no, I'm not even gonna say that because like I would much rather have a belt fed. But those Fight Light uppers are $4,000.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to pay that. But I mean, yeah. If I do that, it's going to be for something transferable.
That's fair.
And as that goes through, that's where I would have that, because like I definitely have room on that bench for a linking machine. And
you got to clear this. He'll have room.
But no, the D60s work really well. Anytime you get into a quad stack, and they have some issues.
Mm-hmm.
Like even the Keltec CP33
Yeah.
and all of those, like anytime you start to go beyond 2, I've noticed they will have reliability feed issues because of how that geometry works.
Mm-hmm.
So as we go through here, Desert Cerakote, this is the guy who did the dessert sprinkle. It was amazing.
It's still a fantastic gun. I need to get one for my wall collection.
Yeah, I need to get one for my carry.
It would look really good in the back of my Jeep.
But he asked, he started doing Steel Challenge and reloading comp ammo or buying, and haven't noticed prices going up again. So this is one of those in the reloading space. Off to Garth's left here, I have my Dillon 750 set up for 9,
Mm-hmm.
and the break even on it is about 28 cents a round. So at $280 a thousand is it is cheaper to reload than it is to buy. And when I push through, I have all the stuff as well to do 5.56 with that. I just haven't ran much through it, or well, any on that, because really I've been burning a lot of 9 with it because, well, that's what I had it set up as.
Yeah.
And I shoot a little bit of everything, and when rounds get cheap, I will buy them and shoot them, and then I just continue to reload so I never run out of ammunition.
Well, let me math real quick because I've been buying. I buy ammunition. I have the components to reload. I don't have a reloader. I have to use that one. But I just picked up 2,000 rounds for 508 shipped.
Yeah, you're seeing them down at still in that 25 cents a round or under for 9mm, and that's really in the solid buy category to me.
Oh, I think it is 100%.
5.56, everything went stupid.
Yeah,
and people panic bought.
Yep.
And even the stuff that was on, because I was out, I walked into a Cabela's this weekend, and the prices that Cabela's had on ammo 3 weeks ago, they are now $2 higher on some of the same boxes because, there's no more left, and we kind of have the market cornered on this, so we can just a little bit more profit margin. And I'm not mad at them for doing that.
No, I'll never be mad at someone for making a living.
But it's I buy cheap and stack deep, and that's my personal motto in life.
Yeah,
buy cheap, stack deep, and when you step over mountains of magazines and ammo, well, I don't worry about shortages.
No, not really. Is it sad though that we both have a plethora? How about that? We'll use plethora. And when I dig into it and I go to the range and I shoot 500 rounds, I feel compelled to buy 1,500 more.
No, that's called replacement.
Yeah.
And what I need to figure out is a system, like for my Kansas soup or anything like that we use for like canned goods that we use in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
We have a rack that stores them all, so you pull it out and it just rolls a new one in.
Yep.
And you load it up, so the oldest stuff is always coming out in the rotation.
Yep.
I need to figure out a way to build that
for ammo.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that'd be so cool.
So that I can be like, oh, this is my old ammo.
Well, those ammo bags that you bought a while back?
Yep.
If you could do like that on a hanging
rotisserie?
Yes. How cool would that be?
Yes, that would be great, but we'll have to work on that later.
It would have to be so reinforced.
Oh man. You have no idea. But as we keep going through here, I don't know, do you have anything else you want to add, Garth, tonight or today?
Yeah,
this afternoon, today.
No, actually, I'm just super glad that some guys wanted to hang out with us instead of watch football. So appreciate you guys hanging in there on a Sunday Fun Day edition of the AR-15 podcast.
Yes, exactly. Sunday Fun Day. And we're not going to say this is the last one.
Probably not.
You never know. This might become a thing, where we just randomly pop up and do a Sunday Fun Day. And they might not all be an hour. It might just be like a 10-minute quick podcast, or it might be a 2-hour debacle where we start taking listener questions.
Yeah, 100%.
But I do know this, and that's that national security experts are warning against our aging power grid that is more vulnerable than ever. January marked the third time that a power station in North Carolina was damaged by gunfire. Authorities are saying this attack raises a new level of threat. Authorities are now checking out our grid for vulnerabilities, and they've identified 9 key substations. If these substations are attacked, the power could be knocked out from coast to coast for up to 18 months. Imagine a blackout lasting not days, but weeks or months. Your life would be frozen in time right at the moment the power fails. Lights all over the country would go out, throwing people into total darkness. And that's why having your own solar power is more important than ever. With the new Patriot Power Generator 2000X, you get a solar generator that doesn't install into your house because it's portable. You can even take it with you, even use it inside. But it's powerful enough to power your phones, medical devices, or even your fridge. And right now you can go to 4patriots.com/FRN and find all of the latest sales. That's 4patriots.com/FRN and find the latest sales. So do that. Get your survival food. Check it out. And free shipping on everything over $97.
Awesome.
And finally, we have think about getting a Jackal, Garth.
I can't stress how excited I am to be able to fire it functionally now. When we were able to test that pistol out, I was so in love with the recoil or lack thereof.
Yeah, and the rifle variant shot just the exact same.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie, I've thought really, really hard about buying a rifle upper.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I'll buy a complete gun. It's just so hard for me to buy a complete gun.
I know it bothers you. It bothers you so much. Just I didn't build this. I created fire.
I have guns that I have bought.
Yeah. But
and I even have one that I haven't played with the internals on.
Wow. Which one is that? You'll have to show me after the show.
It's Piper's shotgun.
Oh, okay. Well, that doesn't count.
I didn't even monkey with the internals on it.
Yet. You only bought it a month ago.
Well, that doesn't really mean anything.
Once you guys got hunting, and then you'll be like, oh, we could fix this. This will be better. Yeah.
All right. Well, you folks out there, you stay safe and stay armed. Support the people who support the show. Primary Arms, VZ Grips, 4patriots.com, and Patriot Patch Company. Be sure to check us out on social media. AR-15 Podcast 2.0 on Instagram. AR-15 Podcast 2.0 on YouTube. AR-15 Podcast 2 on Twitter. AR-15 Podcast on Facebook and wherever podcasts are found. If you just want to drop us a line, let us know how we're doing, or give us a show idea, make sure to send that email to AR-15podcast 2.0 @gmail.com.